So yeah, so I would like you to begin today's session by doing a quick recap what we've done the last couple of weeks. Who would like to start?
I'll go first. Can you hear me, Sha? Yeah, maybe I'll just put the laptop nearer to my face. I really like it, Doctor, because I am not from a language background. So things like metaphors, symbolism. I mean, I know what they mean, but those are still just a big literary themes for me. And even last week, we didn't do a lot of these devices. We talked more about post-colonial theories and comparative and big themes and issues lah. So I really like how I think this class allows me to perhaps go back to the basics of being a literary student. I think that is very important. So that's my thoughts.
Okay. Shah?
Yeah, so Xiao Chang, one thing is that whatever that you learn here, it's gonna be useful for all the classes that you attend. Like for now, we're doing critical theory and also especially Dr. Shan's class where we read canonical texts and everything. So it's kind of, you can synchronize or it's, we simultaneously uh how do I say this? You're going to remember what you did for this class and then you're going to utilize it for the other class. So it's very useful for how you read your text, your poetry and everything. So yeah. It's it's basic. We need it. We never knew we need it, even though last semester we did I did 4 subjects, but I didn't do critical appreciation. But then yeah, it gets easier by time. So
That's
thank you,
because
Dr.
like we
Rai.
did second semester first, Dr. Shah. We did second semester, now we're doing
Right.
first semester.
Yeah, yeah.
So give okay, let's hear from Dong Lai first. Alice, go ahead. What do you feel you've done the last couple of weeks?
Okay, Dr. I, for myself, I like this class very much because I think it's very important class, and I, mm, I think I should have this class at my first semester. Yeah, um, it's like I'm waiting this class for a long time. Yeah, and I think that yes, you can use everything from this class. You can use it in other classes. Yeah, and it's very. I think the critical thinking taught in this class is very important for for me to write my thesis or other assignments. Yeah, in class. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Can you all give me one thing that you have picked up from our discussion this last 2 weeks? Just one thing that you felt you overlooked or you didn't realize, that now that you have learned that or acquired that you can use in your textual analysis.
Oh, last week we done point of views, right? I think because we've always been reading, right, doctor? And then we know since school it's first point of view, second point of view, third point of view. But then I've never like thought about text like critically, like okay, it's been told from first point of view, but how about um third point of view? How are we going to see it um outside of the narrative that it's presented? So like it's always there, but it's like unconsciously. So in this class, starting from this class, so I know how to like differ point of views. Yeah. So it's it helps very much lah, for me.
Yeah, doctor, and when reading the novel myself, I first thought I first connected the story with my own experience, but and I do what ordinary readers do, but as a student from post-colonial literature program, uh, I think I find I should take the post-colonial perspective to look at the text. Yeah.
Ruby?
Okay, sorry, I've been struggling with my Wi-Fi for two
Oh
minutes.
no.
No, it's okay. It's just it comes and goes. But if you cannot hear me clearly, just let me know. Okay, everyone. I think the most important thing it really triggers my mind to continue thinking about it is the separation of author and the narrator. Sometimes I mix them up. Sometimes I thought whatever that the narrator says or the persona says, it must be directly linked to the author themselves. But I think you mentioned that it's important for us to keep it distinctive, keep it. Of course, they are linked, but they're always separate as well. So it allows me to actually look at stories more, not more critically, but more critically, yes, but in a more objective manner, lah. Yes, to be able to identify the narrative, and then, of course, consequently, the issues that the narrator is trying to present. So just keeping things distinct, I guess.
Okay. Just to round up the recap session first. Based on the reading that we did last week, tell me some simple techniques that you yourself have developed when you're reading a new text. When you're given a new text to read, how do you approach the text? What's the first things that you will now do based on the bits that you have picked up? Point of view, reader and me, associating the way I experience the text and what's in the text, as well as the separation between the author and the narrator. Based on these simple things that you have picked up, which I think are crucial, so well done for spotting them yourselves. How will you now approach the reading of any works of literature for your studies? Give us some tips.
I can go first. I think now, but this is not just for this class, but I think it's a mixture of what I learned from the other classes as well. I always look for the setting of the work, like where is the story happening,
Mm.
and then because I noticed being a post-colonial student, who is the person being othered and who is the person that is doing the
Mm.
othering. So that is the that I cannot that is not really me for now. So it's very important for me to is this happening, and then perhaps the dialogues start to make sense. Yes, that's what I do now.
Okay. So Ruby, you approach it by looking at the setting. So the setting becomes the point of departure for you in terms of how you engage with the text. And the second thing you ask yourself is, who is being othered? Who is being marginalized? In this story, who is being marginalized? Who is being othered? And who is doing that? Who is doing the act of marginalizing onto the other? So you want to know that kind of attention. So that's the way you approach it. Okay, brilliant. Um, Somebody else?
For me, I think it's still point of view. Sorry, Alice, you want to go?
So you go first. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
okay.
Because right now I'm reading Paradise Rod. I don't think it has anything to do with our classes, but it's just for my leisure read.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's still from the first point of view. So I thought, you know, what about everybody else? Because this is happening in she actually migrated from not migrated. I don't know what's the term, because she moved from Norway to, I think, New York, and then she has trouble fitting in and stuff. So it's still the same like Ruby, you know, the setting and where she's from and her point of views and who she associated with the most, because she, you know, it's a new place for her. So yeah, fitting in is hard for her. So yeah, I'm reading her point of view. Yes.
What's the name of? I heard Paradise Lost, and I was like, New York? I don't think so.
Paradise
Like
Rot.
Norway.
Paradise Rot.
Rot. R-O-T, Rot. Yeah,
Oh.
Can you
Jenny
write the
Havel.
title and the author in the chat, Shah?
Can,
Yes.
I will write.
Paradise Rot. So there lies the issue. You know, basically it's Oh, Jenny, is that Jenny Val?
I think so. That's how you want to you pronounce her name. But she's from Norway. She's also a musician,
Oh, musician and artist.
a writer. Oh my God, people have been doing the most.
I know.
Well, some people are so talented they can do everything, and we are like barely scratching on one talent.
So Shah, yours is still point of view. So you are still looking at, when you're reading the text, you're still asking, whose point of view is this? You're still asking that. So Ruby was looking at setting as her point of departure and looking at the theme of othering. So Shah, yours is point of view. You're asking that as you're reading. Dong Lai, what about yourself?
I will remind myself to focus on the background, such as the race and gender or social environment in the novel when I read next time. Actually, I'm gonna read the novel plug. And I think I want to write article, connect something to our society, because we have the epidemic for the last 2 years. Yeah,
What's the name of the novel again? Plague?
it's
Plague. By whom? By whom?
I forgot the name. Doctor, okay, wait for a few seconds. I just bought
Is it Albert Camus?
physical book. Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh my God, you're reading Camus?
Is it-
Albert Camus?
Is it Albert Camus's book?
I think so.
The plague,
Let
is
me
it?
find the book.
The Plague.
Is it
Yeah,
the plague?
can.
Wow, so
We're,
depressing.
we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
Okay, thank you.
I think the book has two I think it's
Really?
the
Yeah?
same.
The plague
I
got two parts, ah?
No, not two parts, like two
It's
titles.
this one. It's this
Oh
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know I read that last year,
Camille.
and
Right.
it is like wow, like didn't like reading it during the pandemic, to be honest.
Philosophical,
Yeah,
everything.
it's about rat infection, right? Rat, yeah, and then
It's set in the UK, in London. Is it the plague?
German.
I'm just
Germany.
I'm just
Yeah, German.
starting maybe 12, 3.
Have fun.
Can you show her the book synopsis,
Yeah.
Alice?
Oh, sorry, Ruby. I can't hear you just now.
It's my Wi-Fi. Can you show us the back cover?
Wait, you mean
The
this?
back. Yes, very good. Can see or not? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And Alice, you want to work on your final project on this book? Are you considering?
No, doctor. Just with one of my friend, we have some interest on this topic. So
Okay.
I think just write a short article about it.
Okay, but if you want to incorporate that into your final project, let me know so that we can, when our consultation begins for your final project, I'm going to allow each and every one of you to decide which text you want to work on. So if you want to work on Shah, if you want to work on Paradise Rot, you can. Alice, if you want to work on The Plague, you can. And Ruby, if you've got a particular choice, you mentioned Adiba Amin. If you want to work on any particular writer, you can start letting me know in advance so that we can work around your interests in our discussion, so that we try to work smart. Let's not do too many things. Let's be more focused, and whatever we are discussing, let it be towards the end of producing a particular work for your final project. Okay, so all right, Xiao Ching, how was it so far? Were you able to follow our discussion?
Yes.
Okay, just share with us. I don't want to put you in a spot, but I'm sure you're not a new reader. I'm sure you have been reading works of fiction before this. Tell us very briefly, as an introduction to yourself, tell us, how do you read works of fiction? Do you have any particular strategy when you're reading a work of fiction?
Okay. Um, um, at first, I want to say that I have an experience about postgraduate examination for the ancient of Chinese culture. That there are too many fictions in our ancient culture. So for me, I will read the fiction from the background at first, then including the writers and the book itself, and I think then about some ideas about famous readers about this book. Yeah. Frankly, I want to select a doctor in China about this critical program, and I think the kind of thought is also good at to reading fiction, and just what can I say? Just we can dare to open another new vision for a book just from ourselves. I think it's a new start for me. Yeah.
No, brilliant. Well, that's exactly how I approach when I read a book as well. I devour all the information, the entire world of that book, including the author's background, why he wrote this book, or why she wrote this book, and how it became the way it was. So I completely agree with you, and I like, I'm going to start to stereotype Chinese students from China based on Dong Lai and Xiao Qing's engagement with the two of you. You people are so poetic in the way you describe things. It's like, you know,
I
open,
agree, Doctor.
you open this gate into this vision of your perspective of the books. Like, wow, that in itself is already an approach to reading, the way you see the world. You're very poetic. So that's very beautiful. I really appreciate that. And I think each and every one of you, because of your unique way of approaching a particular work of art, will allow you to produce an original criticism. It's very much like approaching a new person. Everybody's got your own style. Maybe some people will smile and others will wave and others will say hello, and the more extrovert will just go and offer the hand, say, hi, my name is, so we all have our very unique way of approaching a work of literature. So I appreciate that very much, what you have shared. So thank you very much for that. So I'm gonna stop the recording here to kind of end that part of our discussion.